here on number 1, we've got a Suprax label that we have some questions that we need to answer. The first piece is asking, what is the expiration or discard time after it's been reconstituted? So we've got a lot of writing on here. It talks to you about how to store it prior to reconstitution. It talks about after you reconstitute it, you got to store it at room temperature. That still doesn't tell us when we need to discard it. A usual dosage, it says see the package insert. Here is where we would write the date that we reconstitute it. Here in the middle is the important part of the label. You've got your trade name of Suprax, your generic name of Suffixum. You've got the concentration. When it's reconstituted, each teaspoonful contains 100 milligrams. Shake well before using. Here we go. Discard any unused portion after 14 days. So that's what we're going to be working with here. The expiration or discard time is going to be after 14 days. I also wanted to look through the rest of this with you. This RX only just means that that's a prescription only. That's the only way you can get this drug is if you have a prescription for it. There's going to be 50 milliliters in this bottle once it's been reconstituted. Okay. Now I did want to discuss with you this concentration versus that 50 milliliters. This concentration piece is saying in each 5 milliliters it's going to have 100 milligrams of medication in it. Okay, there's 50 milligrams in the whole bottle, but each 5 mil is going to have 100 milligrams of medication. Does that make sense? 50 mils in the bottle, but typically you're looking at 5 mil is going to have 100 milligrams. Now over here on the side, it talks to you about how to mix it up, how to reconstitute it. Okay, it says for this bottle, or use this bottle for dispensing. Use only if the inner seal is intact. But your directions here say to reconstitute, suspend with 34 milliliters of water. Okay, so all you got to do is add water, 34 milliliters, to this bottle and shake it all up, right? We've tapped the bottle several times and to loosen the powder prior to reconstitution, and then we add approximately half the total amount of water for reconstitution and shake well. Sorry, I mistyped that. It's not shade well, it's shake. And then add the remainder of the water and shake well again. Okay, so that 34 milliliters is going to get added in 2 doses. Okay, so we'd have to divide that by 2, add half of it, shake, add the remainder, and shake. Okay. Let's look at the second question. What is the unit dose concentration after it's been reconstituted? Okay, that is this stuff here in the middle. You can see it wrote about it here in the little writing that each 5 mil is going to contain 100 milligrams. You can also see it here big and bold under your label. Okay, so 100 milligrams is going to be in 5 milliliters, or 5 milliliters contains 100 milligrams. I think in your Moodle questions I've got a blank, and then beside it I wrote mg, and then I've got another blank, and then I wrote ml. Okay, so that you knew to put the mg first and then the ml piece, the 100 first and then the 5. Third question says we have an order to give Suprax 0.28 grams. How many milliliters are we going to give? Okay, so this is where we come back to our dimensional analysis. We want to know how many milliliters, so that's going to be a desired answer of milliliter per dose. And we need milliliters in our first fraction, right? So that's coming from our label. All right? They told us that 5 mil is 100 milligrams. So if our desired answer is milliliters, be sure you're putting that 5 mil on top. Okay, those units need to match. Now putting 5 mil on top is going to put 100 milligrams on the bottom. If you have mg at the bottom, that means at the top of the next fraction you need mg. And we don't have anything. I mean, our order is talking about grams, but our label's in milligrams. Okay, so here we are going to need a conversion. How do we get from milligrams to grams? Well, back in, I think it was week 2, I had a whole list of conversion factors I needed you to memorize. On there, it told us that 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. And now that put gram at the bottom, which means the next fraction needs to have gram at the top. And luckily, that is what our order is telling us, is 0.28 grams. I'm going to go ahead and put that over the word dose, okay, 0.28 grams per dose, so that we can make sure all of our units are the same, right? Milligrams cancel, grams cancel. We have milliliter on top, dose on bottom, and that's what we were after. That was our desired answer, is milliliter per dose. So I think we're ready to go. We can multiply the tops and get 1400, multiply the bottoms and we get 100. So when we divide those, we should wind up with a 14 milliliter per dose.